everybody. Great afternoon. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Lunchtime Empowerment Talks with Dr. Vaughn. You already know I am Dr. Shavonna Whitehead, and it's always my privilege, my honor, and my pleasure to come here and join you every Tuesday at 1 p.m. to stretch and grow together. So come on in the room. Make sure you like and share this video. Make sure you like and share this video. Hey, Butterfly. Hey, Aunt Jackie. How are you? I hope you are doing absolutely amazing. So listen, I am excited to talk about our topic for today. I don't know if you saw it, but it's about two tight conversations. Hey, Erlene, that sometimes we struggle with, and that is commitment and consistency. Commitment and consistency. And I know you're probably saying, Dr. Vaughn, that's an elementary topic, but guess what? Many of us are struggling with commitment and consistency. Hey, Nikki, how are you? Many of us are struggling in that area because let's be truthful. Most of us that claim nobody supports us or nobody has our backing or nobody understands us or nobody understands the vision. If the truth be told, it's really not that nobody supports us. Some of us are inconsistent. I know everybody, people probably not going to like this topic too much, but some of us are inconsistent. You have to realize that there are some things that's going to take you being consistent. There are some things that you're going to have to push through when nobody's pushing but you. There are some things that you're going to have to plow the field when nobody's plowing but you. Hey, Mika. Hey, Maurice. There are some things that you're going to have to put your foot to the floor when nobody else is walking it but you. Here's my thing. Can you believe in your vision when nobody else believes but you? So let's, I like words, and I always like to make sure that we are very clear. So listen, consistency is an achievement and performance that does not vary in quality over time. Did you hear what I said? An achievement or a level of performance that does not vary in quality, which means if I am consistent, I give the same amount whether or not one person shows up or whether or not 100 shows up. That means I give the same quality of who I am, no matter whether or not I'm preaching to 5 or I'm preaching to 500. That means that I give the same tenacity and I give the same passion, whether I'm working with one individual or teaching a room of 50. You have to learn how to be consistent. Many of us are not consistent. We are one way on Monday. Then if somebody make us mad by Wednesday, then we don't want to do it on Thursday. Then Sunday, all of a sudden we get a new revelation that we're back at it again. And then by Tuesday, I'm going to do a little bit of it. And then by Wednesday, you want everybody to be back on board. You are inconsistent. Hey, Janae, how are you? And so you have to understand that there has to be a level of consistency. And I don't just mean consistency in service. Some of y'all want to grow, lose weight. The weight is not coming off unless you're consistent. Hey, Lee, the weight is not coming off unless you're consistent. You cannot eat a cheesesteak on Monday, eat a salad on Tuesday, drink only water on Wednesday, but then go get a chicken box on Thursday, have some pizza on Friday, and think when you weigh yourself on Saturday that you're going to lose 3 to 4 pounds. There is no way. You have to be able to be consistent. Many of us talk out of both sides of our head. I came strong today. Many of us talking out of both sides of our head. We want to be successful, but we don't want to do the work. We want to walk in the vision, but you don't want to let go of the people. You want to be prosperous, but you don't want to stop spending. You want to be debt free, but you keep racking up credit. You lose that weight, but you don't want to eat right. You want to do these things, but you don't want to do the work that it requires for that manifestation of what you want. My question to you is, do you really want what you say you want? Okay. Do you really want what you say you want? And then here's the other word, because I'm going to tie them together. Here's the other word, commitment. Commitment is the state or quality of being dedicated to something. Commitment is the state or quality of being dedicated to something. Can I push a little further? Let me push a little further. Commitment is important because it makes you, lean in and listen clearly. It makes you dependable, trustworthy, and responsible. Oh my God. Some people don't like those words. Here goes. Commitment makes you dependable, trustworthy, and responsible. Oh God, being committed makes you dependable, trustworthy, and responsible. What am I trying to say? People can trust you. People can trust you when they know that you're committed. If they know that you're only committed based off of what you can get out of it, come on, let's talk about it. Because here's the dynamic to all of it. You can't only be committed when it feels good. You can't only be committed when the money coming in. You can't only be committed when you're getting everything that you want. You can't only be committed when the sun is shining. You can't only be committed when everybody is applauding you. You got to learn how to be committed to your why when you don't even understand your why. Okay, I said you got to learn how to be committed to your why even when you don't understand your why. You got to learn how to be committed to your journey, even when you don't like your journey. You got to learn how to be committed to your journey, even in the most uncomfortable parts of the journey. I mean, those parts where you're being ripped apart, those parts where you're in the muck and the mire, those parts where it's dark, muddy, and cold, those parts where the hail is raining in your life, those parts where it seems like you can't catch your breath, those parts where it seems like everybody is against you, those parts where you don't even know if you are for you. Yes, you got to be committed even when you don't want to be. Okay. Because here's the thing. I am watching some of us. We've got some greatness locked up inside of us, and it's time for it to flow. But the reason why we don't flow is because we're not committed and we're not consistent. I posted something earlier. Hey, Miss Charlene, I posted something earlier. Excitement ignites, but commitment sustains. Oh, help me, God, today. Listen to what I'm saying. Excitement will ignite you on the journey, but commitment is what's going to sustain you. All of us are excited when we first get the vision. All of us are excited when we first have the dream. All of us are excited when we first get in the relationship. All of us are excited when we first get in the marriage. All of us are excited when we first get the job. All of us are excited when we first start the business. We are all, God, today, help me, God. We are always excited, but can you still have that passion and zeal when you go from bringing in $500 a day to you ain't seeing no sales in the last weeks? Oh, do you still got that zeal? Do you still believe my business is everything? Do you still believe that God is well able? Do you still believe that you still hear God? Or do all of a sudden, do you cry, woe is me, and now you're over it? I'm trying to help somebody today. We all get excited when we first started. It ignites something in us because we're excited that we got this vision. We're excited that we've taken the leap of faith. We're excited that we finally stepped out. We're excited that we're finally actually igniting and starting on this journey. But here's the thing. When the excitement is over, can you have the commitment and the consistency to still see it through? When the excitement is over, when you got to do it sometime kicking and screaming, can you still have the commitment and consistency? Consistency means, what I said earlier, that means the quality doesn't change. So I don't like where I am. I don't even like the way it's going. But my commitment and my engagement is not going to change. I'm going to be just as strong as I am, even if don't nobody show up. I'm going to be as strong as I am, even if I don't even understand what's going on. I'm going to be as strong as I am, even if it seems like I'm no closer to where God said I was going to be. I know the vision. I wrote it down when he told me. And okay. Somebody got to type in the comments. It's time for me to reconnect to my why. Why did you do it in the first place? Somebody got to type in the comments. Oh, see, Aunt Jackie already started declaring over herself. She said, Jackie, stay committed and consistent. But somebody needs to type, I'm about to reconnect to my why. Because your why will fuel you when you have no answers. Your why will fuel you when you don't want to do it. Your why will fuel you when your emotions are all out of control. Your why will fuel you when nothing makes sense. Your why will fuel you when you got to go through sifting and stretching. Your why will actually reignite something in you when you can't sleep at night because you don't understand whether or not you should continue or whether or not you should stop. That's right. It's time to reconnect to your why. And let me help somebody. Your why is not just for a business. Sometimes your why is going back to school to get that degree. Hello. Sometimes your why is going after that promotion on your job. You got to remember, no, that was my goal. I'm about to reconnect to my why. I'm not settling here. Oh my God. Somebody say, I'm not settling here. Woo, help me, God. Somebody say, I'm not settling here. I am not settling here. Why? Because I am greater than where I am now. You got to see beyond what you see. Help me, God. I can't hear nobody but God. I said, you got to see beyond what you see. I said, you got to see beyond what you see. And when we're talking about commitment and consistency is not about your feelings. Commitment and consistency is not about what you see. Sometimes you got to walk blindly. I'm trying to help somebody today. I came to help somebody today. I ain't come to help everybody. I came to help somebody. Sometimes commitment and consistency means you got to walk blindly. I don't know where we going, God, but you said go. I don't know who's going to be there when I get there, but you said go. I don't know what I'm going to say when I get there, but you said go. I don't even know what the provision going to be, but you said go. God, you still want to push forward? I don't know what we're going to do, but sometimes you got to move blindly. And see, some of our problems is we want too many of the details. If I'm talking to you, just say ouch. Because some of us just want too many of the details. We can't move unless we have all the details. But that's not faith. If you're talking about you got faith, but you got to have all the details, you might want to go back to God and ask him to reveal to you faith again. Because faith means that I trust him beyond what I can see. And some of us have slipped. We have slipped into this place of inconsistency because we make all of our decisions based off of what we feel. Some of us in relationships because we based off of what we feel. Some of us got in friendships based off of what we feel. Some of us settled in jobs based off of what we feel. We didn't want to go deep because we were scared of the responsibility. So therefore, we didn't go for the promotion because we were scared of what we were going to be responsible for on the other side. So we settled over here. Now you mad that everybody else is growing. You mad that everybody else is getting a raise. You mad that everybody else is excelling, but you had the same opportunity. Somebody say commitment and consistency. Commitment and consistency. Commitment and consistency. We got to go back to being committed to our why. We got to go back to being consistent to why we started in the first place. Your commitment and your consistency is what's going to continue to ignite your fire. Come on here. Your oh my Savior God, today I love you today. Your commitment and your consistency is what's going to continue to ignite your fire. That's right now, Jake. I'm not settling here because many of us, if you are truthful, that's what your problem has been. Your problem has been inconsistency and lack of commitment. You allow one person to give you their opinion, and now you become inconsistent. I can't hear nobody but God. You allow one person to give you their opinion. You shared with the wrong one in the first place, but you allowed that one person to give you their opinion, and now you become inconsistent by what you know God told you to do. You know he told you to do it, and now you sitting back questioning your why and questioning what you're supposed to do, and now you've lost your commitment and your consistency. No. I'm reconnecting to my why. Yep, that's why I say I'm reconnecting to my why. Because too many of us, our eyes have gotten us in all our eyes and ears, not to God, but our eyes and ears to man have gotten us in trouble. We have watched other people and become inconsistent. Okay, let me roll this back because I thank you, God. Some of you have to realize that some of the people that you're watching, that you're watching them excel, you don't know the backstory. There was a lot of commitment and consistency that had to go into the groundwork for them to get to where they are. But you want to get to where they are without being consistent or committed. They were committed sometimes when wasn't nobody buying nothing. They were committed sometimes when wasn't nobody showing up to the live at all. They were committed when nobody was liking or sharing anything. They were committed when nobody thought that they were qualified or thought they had any power. They were still praying when nobody thought they could. They were still preaching when nobody thought they were anointed. They were still interceding when nobody thought they were called to that. They were still toiling the ground. They were committed and consistent no matter what people may have said or thought. And now that God has honored, He has found them trustworthy. He has found them reliable. He has found them dedicated. Now He has blessed them. And now you see the manifestation. You want to get to the manifestation without the consistency or the commitment. Okay. I'm trying to help somebody today. You want to get to the manifestation, but you don't know the commitment and the consistency that they went through. And you go through seasons of stuff, and you think because you went through that season of stuff, now God should just manifest everything that you need. Everybody's journey is different. Oh God. You can't be consistent and committed based off of your hope that you're going to get the same outcome as somebody else. Let me put that out there. You can't base your commitment and consistency off of what you think you're going to get because you're mirroring yourself from somebody else. Okay. I just came by talk. I came by, oh my God, today. Tore the ground. It's in you. It's in you. It's in you. It's in you. What's in your hand? It's in you. It's in you. But what are you doing with what's in your hand? What are you doing with what God gave you? What are you doing with the vision? What are you doing with the baby? What are you doing with the promise? What are you doing with the purpose? What are you doing with this? Some of us, we are complaining about how God is blessing other people, but what are you doing with what He gave you? Okay. What are you doing with what He gave you? He gave you a ministry to cook. But you because that don't seem big, you don't want to do it. He gave you a ministry to help the seniors, but because that don't become notoriable, then you don't want to do it. He gave you a ministry of helps, but because you got to be behind the scenes, you don't want to do it. Some of us only want to show consistency and commitment when it's something that's going to be in the spotlight. But can you be consistent and committed when don't nobody see it but God? I can't hear nobody but God. I said, can you be consistent and committed when don't nobody see it but God? Because then lean on in a little bit more, because then you got to ask yourself the question, why are you doing it in the first place? If you can only be consistent and committed when somebody else can see it, then you might not be genuinely committed or consistent. Okay. I'm just trying to help somebody today because listen, I am trying to help somebody today. My best friend earlier today, she did a live talking about staying. Go back and watch Madeline's live. I want you to listen. Some of us, literally, we got to be committed. I posted when God gave this to me on yesterday about being committed and consistent, and He had me posted this morning. I really had to begin to search myself. God didn't really start manifesting things in my life till I became consistent with me. Okay, y'all thought I was going to say committed, consistent with y'all? Oh, no. Come on back in. Come on back in. Come on back into my space. God didn't start blessing me until I became committed and consistent with me. Okay, come on, lean on in, because maybe you thought I was going to say something else to somebody else. God didn't start blessing me until I became consistent and committed to me. Ooh, God almighty. I said till I became consistent and committed to me. Some of us are consistent and committed to people because we want them to give us a reward. We're trying to be out here making the proper connections. We're trying to be out here, and nothing wrong, because I believe that this is a season for new connections, new concepts, and new ideas. I believe that the Lord is doing something new, and I believe that God is strategically aligning, because I know He is. I'm seeing Him do it in my life. I know that God is strategically aligning, new connections and new concepts and new ideas. Yes, I do. But some of us have the wrong motives by these connections. Some of us are trying to show our commitment and consistency to people because we're trying to connect to somebody that can get us somewhere so we don't have to do the work. No, 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 no. That's not what being committed and consistent. Committed and consistent means that I am willing to put in the time to get the desired outcome that I'm seeking. Commitment and consistency means I'm willing to put in the time to get the desired outcome that I'm seeking. When I show myself that I am committed, God, help me, Jesus, hallelujah. When I show myself as being committed and consistent, I can actually begin to see stuff manifest. Here's a dynamic. Let me give you an example. If you put God Almighty, if you put a seed in the ground, you put a flower seed in the ground, if you are not consistent in watering that seed will never produce what you put it in the ground to produce. Come on, Jesus, help me, God. Oh my God. Hey, I said, if you put a seed in the ground, go to Home Depot, Lowe's, or whatever, buy you a pack of flower seeds. Buy you some cucumber seeds, whatever kind of seed you want to get. If you put that seed in the ground and you never water that seed will never produce what you wanted it to produce. God, help me, Jesus. I'm saying, what am I saying? If I am not committed to be able to actually work what I put in the ground, I can't expect to receive what was on that picture. You know how when you get that pack of seeds, it show you the end result of what it should come out looking like? You can't expect to receive the end result if you don't do on the back of the seed, on the back of the package, it tell you, make sure you water it. Make sure you put fertilizer on it. Make sure you do this. If you don't do those things, you cannot expect to get the outcome. So let me help somebody here. You cannot expect to get the outcome of the people that you see that have taken the time and consistency and commitment to toil the ground, work the ground, turn the ground, sift the ground, shift the ground. You cannot expect to get their outcome when you will not do the work. Yep, somebody needs to just type, it's time for me to be committed. It's time for me to be committed. It's time for me to be committed. I got to be consistent and committed. I got to be consistent and committed. I can't just be committed, but I also got to be consistent. So which means my commitment ain't just on Monday. My commitment is every day. My commitment not just on when you can see it. My commitment is every day. And guess what? Because I'm consistent, that means I have the same quality. Every time I have the same quality. That's right, Lynn. That's right, Lynn. Say it to yourself. Yes. You have to begin to say it to you. You have to begin to say it to you. And so I challenge each and every one of you. It is now time. You can't, get rid of excuses. No more excuses after today. No more excuses. Dr. Vaughn then came and she done took all my excuses away. No more excuses after today. No more excuses after today. What are you going to do from here? It's January 24th. What you going to do from today? Y'all know my motto. New Year is not a day. It's a decision. Y'all already know my motto. New Year is not a day. It's a decision. And so you can make a decision today to start over right today. No more excuses today. Did I say it's going to be easy? No, I did not say it was going to be easy. But commitment doesn't mean easy. Commitment means that even if I got to do it crying, I'm still going to do it. Commitment means that even if I got to do it limping, I'm still going to do it. Commitment means even if I got to do it kicking and screaming, I'm still going to do it. Commitment means even if I got to do it where I ended up having to do everything, where I used to have help and now I got to do everything, but I'm still going to do it. I am no longer going to allow the ball to drop in my life. I'm no longer going to allow the ball to drop in my life because of somebody else. It's all right, Janae. It's okay. It's okay. Yes. It's time to be committed and consistent right now. Yep. Because here's the thing, y'all. Time is not waiting for anybody. And if you're still going to if you're going to give excuses on January the 24th, when we get down to December and we're talking about what have you done this year, you're going to have the same excuses in December about why you haven't done what you're supposed to do this year. All of us, how many of us? All of us have a purpose and destiny. My question to you, are you fulfilling it? I just gave you examples earlier. Some of y'all meant to serve the seniors, but y'all think that that's a small job, so y'all don't want to do it. Yeah, Lee, even if I got to do it alone, I got to see it through. I got to see it through. Some of y'all got purpose working with children, but that ain't the big thing. Some of us got purpose when we supposed to be doing outreach. But what that is not popular. That's not going to bring us a lucrative income. That's not popular. So we don't want to do it. Do y'all not understand that there's a ministry in doing hair? Hello. See, we think we done box God into what ministry is. We done box God into what purpose is. You done box God in to tell God what these are the parameters of purpose. These are the parameters of ministry. But do you not understand that sometimes people are at their most vulnerable when they're getting their hair done? An opportune time for you to minister to them? Okay. I'm just trying to help somebody. Some of you have stopped doing your ministry and stopped doing what you were gifted to do because you thought it wasn't purposeful. Yep. Somebody needs to say, I'm going back to my why. Some of you have the ability to cook. You don't understand that sometimes food brings a certain posture and brings a certain presence into the atmosphere. You may be the very thing that lifts somebody, or whatever the case may be, that they just was like, you know what, this just made my day. Some of you, like I said earlier, may have the ministry of seniors. You may have the ministry where, the seniors you're supposed to be taking seniors to the doctor's appointment. They don't have nobody else, but because you showed up to take them to the doctors. Okay. Commitment and consistency. I'm just trying to help somebody. That's all. I'm just trying. I'm going back to my why. That's right. I'm going back to my why. I just want you. Somebody just type it. I'm going back to my why. I'm going back to my why. Because God has purposed me. I don't have to be a preacher. I don't have to be somebody with a big name. I don't have to be an entrepreneur. I don't have to be a business owner. I don't have to be a millionaire. All of us, that's right. Come on here. I'm going back to my why. And what does that mean? That means you got to seek God for your why. Because some of y'all don't know your why. Your whys have become what looks good to other people. I can't hear nobody but God. Some of y'all whys ain't really yours. It's what you produce because you thought something looked good, or something looked profitable, or something looked like people would support. I keep telling y'all, numbers don't mean greatness. Impact means greatness. So if you impact that one senior mother that you took to the doctors for the last couple of months, and you made a major impact in her life because she felt like nobody cared about her, you've made just as great as an impact on somebody that's in a room full of 100 people and empowering them. You've made the same kind of impact. Impact isn't about numbers. Greatness isn't about numbers. Greatness is about impact. And some of us we got to clean our vision. We got to clean this lens. We got to look at it from a different perspective. And so, listen, that's all I want to tell y'all. I just wanted to hop on, wanted to make sure I deposited into y'all. I am excited. Oh God, I love God. I love God. And so I just want you to be committed, and I want you to be consistent in this season. We got to stop being up and down. We don't know who we're going to deal with between Monday and Thursday, dealing with some of us, because we're so inconsistent. We're so inconsistent. But I challenge you, being committed has nothing to do with how you feel. I tell the story all the time. When I was suffering from severe liver failure, I preached holding on to the pulpit. When they were picking me apart because they thought I had an attitude and I was really fighting for my life, I preached and smiled no matter what. I served sick. I served with them throwing daggers in my back. I served with them questioning my anointing. I served with them disrespecting me. Why? Because I was committed to the call on my life. It wasn't about them, y'all. No, I wasn't being a pushover, but it wasn't about them. I was committed to God. I had to be consistent to the call he put on my life. Because at the end of the day, I had the answer. Because that's the why he gave me. They don't have to answer for that. I have to answer for that. And we got to stop using excuses of why we don't do what we supposed to do because somebody hurt us, somebody talked about us, somebody scandalized our name, somebody betrayed us, somebody abandoned us. Okay. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. You might got to slow down, but don't stop. God. I said you might have to slow down, but don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. I preached having to go get my blood drawn every Sunday morning at 7:30 so that I could make it to 8 o'clock service so I could still be the director of music. Consistency and commitment. I could have easily used my sickness as an excuse to sit down and say, I'm just until I get better. But whatever strength I had, I was consistent and committed. And guess what? Now I am seeing. Now that was in 2018. I am now seeing God's fruit. Okay, I can't hear nobody. I am seeing God's fruit from my commitment in 2018. Consistent and committed. You may not see the seed manifest for years. I'm trying to help somebody that's saying you've been committed and consistent and you ain't seen nothing. I am seeing the fruit of my consistency and my commitment from 2018. I am seeing it in 2023. Commitment and consistency. And so I hope that I helped somebody. I didn't mean to say, I hope that I helped somebody today. I want you to connect back to your why and become consistent and committed again. This don't have nothing to do with nobody else. It has everything to do with you. And so listen, if you have not already done so, go right down there to the bottom of the screen. I want you to go to our website, www.shavonnawhitehead.com. Make sure you click on that subscribe button. Stay connected to us. Make sure that we have your email address so that you can receive our newsletter, upcoming events, and listen. If you have not already registered for Restore Your Roar experience that will be May the 19th and 20th in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, come on, check out our website, check out my page. I'm going to post it again today. I want you to join me, be my guest. Registration for that Friday and Saturday is $150, or you can come and just register for that Saturday. It is $100. Listen, I want you to come and share with me. This is not just a meetup for women. This is not just a meetup for you to get to know people, but this is an experience to ignite healing and wholeness for you, to understand that you can be restored and know that you can come out of this with something to say. So I hope that you will join me. I hope that you will be my guest, but most of all, pray for me and I will pray for you. We have to maintain our commitment and our consistency. So I love each and every one of you. Listen, join me back here next Tuesday, 1 p.m. for Lunchtime Empowerment Talks with Dr. Vaughn. I am Dr. Shavonna Whitehead, and I love you all. Have an amazing day in and on purpose. All right, talk to you guys next week. Bye-bye.